Socks, you mind bringing up the? There we go. It's coming. Look at that flame. Look at all of these animations. By the way, big round of applause for Soxborough, has not only stepped up to help in the emergency situation of our designated streamer having their computer decide that today was going to be its last day on this earth as a working machine, but also did a lot of the graphic design for this as well, and the transition elements too. So huge shout out to Soxborough Shimiki of the team Let Them Fight. But we're talking about Breadwetters. So Breadwetters is a PvPrimal team. They're mainly Primal team comprised of T100s and Gary. Just Gary, nothing else. Not known for anything. They're Breadwetters. What that means is that, for example, when it's time to eat a sandwich, you quickly run it under the sink in order to moisten the bread, but not long enough to be soggy because that ruins the taste. But if you do it just right, the perfect water temperature, it enhances the texture of the bite tremendously. That is disgusting. I apologize for everyone that you had to hear me read that. On this team, we have Verkittens, Somalazo, the guy behind this tournament. Raven, Myong, Kitla, Hundar, Mocha, Sun, Nikau, Milkdud, Hourly Sword, Sora.
And facing off against Breadwetters, we've got the Verkittens. One of the newer teams to compete, at least, within LP scenes, but definitely not newer players.
Correct. They are also the sister team to Jiggling, as the former team I Need This broke basically into two, and now we are our own team. So, for Kittens, we have Tiny Sosic, Krana Vasidius, Fine Motion, Big Suck, John Dark Souls, Mountain Boop, and Buzzy Wuzzy. But also, it's important to note that these Verkittens, despite being new to the scene, have certainly proven themselves in the past tournaments over these past few weekends. So these Verkittens do have their claws.
And we are getting ready. Looks like the team compositions are currently locked in. We are getting ready to hop into Cloud 9. Looks like whenever we get that started, we're going to be showing off some pretty tight gameplay. Looks like we are going in.
Yes, and as you just said, we are starting on C9, which is probably absolutely no one's desired starting map. Just the mental of it all. Not unfortunately. C9, of course, as we discussed previously, also really favors different comps. Now, when we were last on C9, I noticed that neither team really changed their comp to accommodate C9, and it doesn't look like there are any changes to this one either. Both teams running fair amount of melee and not really stacking ranged, as you might expect if someone was to truly try to maximize maybe a C9 comp. But LP also doesn't really favor being too heavily range-based. It does favor, fairly well-balanced teams. So
here's a mugshot. Everybody got culinary for their bread. And there was a mugshot disaster.
If we can get the camera on Mocha's son, I love it. He's got oven mitt looking gloves on, and a meat tenderizer for a weapon. So it's quite fantastic.
Is that a Trigun reference? I don't know enough. That looks kind of close to Trigun.
I mean, the hair is very, very Vosh-esque, but I don't know if the rest is, other than he wore a red jacket. But anyways, here we go. Both teams, we have Verkittens is on Gunbreaker. Again, this is now the second Gunbreaker we've seen in this tournament. And it'll be very interesting to see how the Gunbreaker is able to perform on this map, because this is not a map typically considered good for being on Gunbreaker.
Meanwhile, we've got John Dark Souls on the signature Paladin, definitely showing one of the more standard compositions, one of the more Paladin-focused compositions. Going in, Tiny Sosic is the target.
Tiny Sosic was the target, but Tiny Sosic also got Guardian, so they are able to get an elixir off, while meanwhile the Breadwetters lose their White Mage. Mocha-san pushing hard, going down as well. And it looks like the Breadwetters are a bit disorganized right now, and they're going down. They have maybe a chance to retreat here. Verkittens looks like he'll be let go. Maybe Buzzy Wuzzy is chasing down. Buzzy Wuzzy not wanting to go behind the wall. That almost sounds like some sort of nursery rhyme, but it's actually commentary, I assure you. And it does
Really?
look like Breadwetters are going to be able to regroup, so this will be a team fight. There is a LB a slight advantage to the Verkittens with Monk LB coming up, and certainly once Nin LB comes online, they'll have a head start on that one in LB. Huge, and it looks like Verkittens don't want to start the fight. They want to put themselves in a more advantageous position. Find motion, the target going potentially down. No, their Guardian. Out goes Gunbreaker LB, though. Will it be able to make any kills? It doesn't look like it. John Dark Souls used Guardian on the White Mage and held guard, absorbing all of that damage from that Gunbreaker LB. Very good play by
John Dark Souls single-handedly proving why Paladin was such a dominant pick in the previous metagame, and why Guardian, why Paladin is still really strong today. That cover guard has saved 2, almost 3 lives now, and really make it so that Breadwetters' burst is almost immediately denied with that cover. It's just an enormously difficult uphill battle for Breadwetters now, trying to get those picks fast enough before that cover guard goes off.
Right,
With that
Breadwetters
Paladin
trying.
LB, are they going to be able to get onto the point?
I don't. They are, but will they be knocked off? That is the question. If they leave only one person on it, Buzzy Wuzzy with Enlightenment might be able to take them out. But there is an LB advantage to Breadwetters, and we are going into Turbulence in 3 seconds. We'll see who gets flown into the sky, if anyone. We do see a lot of people. Holy
Mocha's
crap.
sun goes
That's almost
up,
everyone.
Mocha's sun goes down. Is he going to have to rip that LB? Is he going to be able to?
He should be ripping that LB.
He
There
got
it
that
is.
LB off. Looks
Yeah.
like Mocha Sun's able to survive that, but and they're able to start turning that around, get 2 picks, one onto John Dark Souls, the other one onto Big Suck, in order to try to get that momentum going back onto the enemy position.
Verkitto, though, absolutely bullied between Buzzy Wuzzy and Tiny Sosig, though, with Monk LB holding him in place, Enlightenment back into the tornado when he tried to guard. Very nasty. Mocha-san holding point but going down due to Tiny Sosig's Ninja LB. Looks like Raven's trying to hold. Going to be another Ninja LB pick. Will they be able to pick Tiny Sosig here? They're close. I don't think so, though. Tiny Sosig
That's
going to
another cover.
Oh man, those covers. John is just nailing it. And down goes Breadwetters White Mage? Question mark? Looking like it. Yep, down he goes. That is going to leave Verkitto holding the point as a Gunbreaker. His Nebula is down, his Guard is down. He's really out of options here. He's getting White Mage LB'd, and they are just trying to take him out with everything they have. Not quite coordinated, but it does look like they're going to succeed. With Buzzy Wuzzy and Tiny Sosig running him down in the back. Mocha-san trying to hold the point. Doesn't have a lot of options. The Breadwetters still have Ninja LB if they can get someone low enough. But we'll see if Verkittens try to take the Ninja out of play, which they are doing, and they succeed. So that leaves Breadwetters with a White Mage who is being bullied and has burned guard. A Dark Knight who has LB maybe in the next 20-ish seconds. Out goes a White Mage LB before they go down. I think that just ghosted, though. Didn't land any damage, didn't land any stun. Mocha-san now the target. Mocha-san going down. Verkitto coming in, has Nebula, has LB. Not even going to be able to get a single recoup rate off. Yeah, that Meteor just still shredded him with the coordinated focus. And that is going to be round 1 for the Verkittens.
God, really, really excellent defensive play coming out from the Verkittens, especially on the behalf of John Dark Souls. All of that damage going in onto pretty coordinated burst into single targets doesn't end up mattering if John Dark Souls is able to come in and get those cover off. You really have to get that sync tight. Looks like... Did you see any team composition changes? I'm not sure I saw the Verkittens change anything up.
I was not looking, so I did not see it. Verkittens not changing anything, though.
I'm gonna have to see whether or not Breadwetters brings out any new tech, especially considering the tighter... Oh.
Nope. Looking like the same comp. Eating the bread.
So good.
Wish they all had the one Mocha has where it looks like he's eating it. That would be amazing. Who figured that one out?
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be the same compositions. Something to note is that while Dark Knight itself is a really strong pick, just generally, on Cloud9 it tends to have a much harder time getting its condition off because, you know, it only sucks in people from within a 15-yard range, right? And in Cloud9 specifically, with such enormous wide areas, it's not necessarily in your favor. People are not necessarily going to be able to group or forced to group up as tightly as clumped. So you end up getting a lot less value off of that Salted Earth. Here on Clocktown, where everything is hallways and everything is tight corridors, you can get a lot more value off of that Salted. Looks like first engage is happening.
Yep, the elbows make for excellent places for Darks to suck in a whole team and just bleed if an enemy team isn't careful. Down goes the Bard for Breadwetters almost instantly there. Very coordinated burst from the Kittens. John Dark Souls has used Guardian, though, and I believe his guard, though, so we'll see if Breadwetters will swap to him and take advantage of the fact that he's basically no guard at the moment. I don't think so. Garu is chasing down Big Suck, the Bard for Verkittens, while Mocha-san is about to go down on point. Breadwetters still stuck in a 4v5 situation. Although Verkittens Bard, oh, nope, now he's Guardian, but he's not going to take advantage of it to Elixir. He's going to keep the pressure up and just use it to absorb some of the damage they might have taken otherwise. They are hard on Garuketo. They are not wanting to let him live, and they are going to succeed in keeping him from running away. Out goes Breadwetters' White Mage LB to try to stall him by some time, but it is ultimately not going to do anything in terms of getting kills. Now we are seeing the Verkittens. Oh, Buzzy Wuzzy out goes his LB onto the Breadwetters Nin. And will they punish that overextend or be able to punish that overextend? I don't think so. John Dark Souls coming in pretty much trying to be there so that if it was needed, he could have.
Fine motion alone on the point, separated from the rest of their team because of the Yojimbo. Looks like John Dark Souls is able to come in, get that final cover guard up. LBs are going up. Gunbreaker LB is going in. Can they get any kills? Even with a White Mage down, it looks like the damage is not there. Purify's burn. Garuketo's burning down. Can he get out? Looks like able to get the guard, and they get a counter kill onto Tiny Sosig before there's able to use that Ninja LB.
Yep. And Garu is being chased down. Now, another thing about the Gunbreaker versus Bard mashup, all of Bard's CC is really good at just shutting down a Gunbreaker LB if it's not perfectly executed. And we do see the White Mage for Breadwetters got shrunk. Mocha and Sun in Eventide has 1 second left, no mana to recover. He's probably about to die if he gets hit. And the Ninja for Breadwetters. Looks like they're trying to go around back. I don't think... Oh, out goes Buzzy Wuzzy's LB. They are down. This is going to be Verkittens' win here in the next second. If Breadwetters isn't able to take better advantage of the point or hold it off. Oh, no. Out goes White Mage LB from Breadwetters. He's near the ground pot. He's not able to get it. They stun him. He is going down. On point, Mocha-san is trying to hold it down to the best of his abilities. But that is a very hard thing to do when there is little support for him at the moment. Garuketo coming in, though, and has LB. Will he be able to execute it? Effectively, out it goes on John Dark Souls. Damage done, but not enough to really make a dent in a team with that much mana and cautiously guarding.
Yeah,
John Dark Souls, guardianing.
Yeah, it's going to be
probably
really...
about to go down.
Yeah, it's going to be really rough for Breadwetters to try to get back into position, especially considering Mocha-san used their immunity earlier on the point in order to try to stall a little bit longer. Now they're forced into the stagger situation with only one person on point forced to guard. That's even less damage coming out into the enemy team. With John Dark Souls, with the Paladin and Phalanx coming up, that damage is even going to be even harder to go in. Mocha-san's about to get that LB up. Are they going to be able to get any kills on it? Can they get the kill onto Buzzy? Buzzy goes down. Buzzy gets a kill onto the enemy Ninja. Ninja's not able to use that LB, and even if they have these LBs, they're not able to get together to sync them.
Right, and that is one of the things about Ninja that is most painful about playing that class, is if your team just can't get something below 50, you just feel you're like, well, you feel very bad. I won't say worthless, but you do feel like very bad that you are holding your LB for so long just because the opportunity doesn't exist to use it. Garu getting knocked off point by Enlightenment, and that is going to seal that second match.
Really dominant performance on the half of Kittens. 15 to 1. Just even if it was a particularly slowed played, just about every engage was about as controlled as they could possibly make it. Even when things ended up being sloppier, John Dark Souls was there to end up covering up some of the mistakes. And like, it is just a really solid performance. Really shows the power of the Paladin. It really shows what the meta used to be for so long.